Hello, my name is Anna. Welcome to my virtual yoga studio. Did you know that chronic pain is the most burdensome issue facing our society today? And that of all the types of chronic pain out there, back pain is number one. As a yoga therapist, my first priority is always helping my clients find that freedom from pain in all of its manifestations: physical, emotional, mental. Yoga gives us wonderful tools to manage pain. In a yoga session, through repeating gentle movements in mid-range, in whatever's comfortable range for you, you are gradually retraining your nervous system to accept certain stimulation from your body as safe, as normal, as pleasant. And you're doing so gradually, in small increments, in an atmosphere of safety, peace, self-love, and acceptance. So what is pain? Science tells us that pain is produced by the brain when, based on the sensory stimulation from the body, the brain decides that whatever's happening to you is really truly dangerous. The tricky part is, though, that brain does not always operate on complete and total information, and sometimes it makes a poor judgment. That's why people with very different damage to their body sometimes report very similar levels of pain. This is especially pronounced in osteoarthritis, for example. People with very different degrees of degeneration would report similar levels of pain. Did you also know that people who have greater body awareness, who know where their body parts are and can arrange their body parts with great precision based on whatever instructions they receive from their yoga teacher, for example, experience less pain? That people who can mirror another body's movements, like you usually do in a yoga class, you watch a teacher demonstrate a pose and then you try and recreate it in your body. The greater precision with which you can mirror, the less pain you are likely to experience. I have designed a short yoga class for you to target precisely that which ails us the most: back pain. It's important that you follow certain guidelines while practicing. First of all, watch the entire thing first. It's very short, so you can practice your mirroring skills. See if you can then recreate in your own body what you see. You will see some unusual spinal movements. Don't judge. Don't have expectations. Allow yourself to do these movements without giving your body a chance to form an opinion about them just yet. Secondly, start in your smallest comfortable range of movement. And if you are actually having some pain at the moment, it's even good enough to simply visualize yourself performing this movement. You can start there and then gradually begin to introduce the smallest amplitude, building up on that until you reach the edge, so to speak. And the edge is the place where you feel somewhat uncertain of what lies beyond. There is no pain yet. Maybe you feel a little bit of stiffness or lack of range of movement. And then stay within that range, and gradually that edge will be shifted further and further out, and your range of movement will painlessly increase over time. Join me. The first movement is cat and cow, and if you've been to a yoga class, you probably have done this one, where on the inhalation you arch your spine, and on the exhalation you round the spine. Begin by moving from the very mid of your back. And start with smallest range of movement that's comfortable for you. I am showing maybe a greater range that is comfortable for you. So don't make any assumptions and start conservative, gradually building your amplitude. Once you become comfortable with that, see if you can isolate just the lower areas of your back. Moving from the pelvis only back and forth, you can also vary the speed. You can move a little faster or a little slower, but continue to breathe steadily in a relaxed way. Keep your shoulders as still as possible. Then lock your pelvis steady in neutral and see if you can activate just the upper areas of your spine, the thoracic spine. The same process of arching and rounding, squeezing the shoulder blades and spreading the shoulder blades. See if you can activate selectively different areas of your spine and be very precise. Next, we're going to try a lateral movement side to side, applying the same principles. Start from the mid-back and bring towards each other the shoulder and the hip on the same side, squeezing your side body. Notice that I am not swinging my pelvis side to side, that the hips stay stacked over the knees. Then bring your pelvis back to neutral, steady your shoulder blades, and engage just the lumbar area, just the low back, to move the pelvis side to side without swinging it. And maintain a steady rhythm and comfortable breath. Gradually increasing the amplitude up to your edge. And then see if you can steady your pelvis. Keep it really still as you move the shoulders side to side, squeezing one shoulder down to the pelvis on one side and then the other. You can go faster or slower as long as your breath remains smooth and comfortable. Now we're ready for the next challenge, the jump rope. Squeeze one side, round the back, squeeze other side, and come back to center, sway back. Do several passes in one direction, painting a smooth arc of the spine just like the jump rope, and do the other side. To save time, I'm only showing one direction, but you do both. Once you finish that, see if you can again lock the shoulders steady and isolate just the pelvis, moving the low back only. Allow the movement gradually to become smoother and smoother. Keep breathing. And then lock your pelvis steady, and this is the hardest one for me, moving just the upper back, the thoracic spine, in the jump rope style. Remember to do both directions to challenge your right brain and left brain equally. Once you finish to your satisfaction, come back into child's pose. Shift your hips to the heels, rest your head down, and take a few breaths into your back body. Now I hope that you've watched the entire thing first. You're ready to try. Don't try the whole thing at once necessarily. Break it up into manageable pieces. Try one thing at a time. Become comfortable with it. Become proficient in it before adding the next challenge. Give yourself plenty of time to experiment. And I really do hope that this practice will gradually lift the pain off your back. Lift the burden off your back. Keep practicing. Namaste.